What's up, Internet? We are here once again in Trials of Mana. I felt like playing a little bit more, and it was a pretty popular video, so I figured I would do more of this. Not sure how long we're going to play this. I don't know if we'll play all the way through. However, I do want to point something out. The text box at the bottom, select the equipment and confirm to switch AOM. Yeah, so, way to program this game, Square Enix. I mean, the fan game had something like this as well, but I mean, that's a fan game. You're the people who made this goddamn thing. And I like this game, but man, that's just... This game is 25 years too late, damn it. And the people who made it clearly don't know what they're doing. Alright, we got a little bit stuck earlier, and I think I know where we need to go, so we're gonna do that. I just want to re-equip my characters. I just decided to go into this really quick because I saw that weird, like, graphical screw up because they, like, properly didn't size up the, text box or something. And I thought, you know, I need to call that shit out. So I'm calling that shit out. But anyway, we are back in the free city of wherever it is we were. Also, Pity. Thank you, text boxes, for doing the right thing and not doing the right thing at all. From what I remember, we kind of got stuck because we couldn't figure out where we need to go, and I think where we need to go is the starting place for our character, but nowhere else. So, we're just going to go to sleep and save, and then we're going to go back and continue, and my cat's already scratching on the door. I had a feeling having him in here would be kind of a pain, and I'm sure he's going to bug us about 12 more times before this is over. But it is now Dryad Day, and we are going to head out on our adventure. I believe we are going to get, like, jumped by 2 bosses once we get to where we need to go. But, yeah, Lloyd the cat wanted to stream this with me, and then the moment it starts, he has to go off and scratch on the door and want out because he's silly like that. He's a cat who doesn't know what he wants. But we love him anyway, because he's the best cat. Oh, also, I went in and individually programmed my characters to actually use their special abilities, so now once they actually have them, they'll be doing some damage. I'm not sure you can program them to use their magic and stuff. I want to say there was originally an option for that, but I genuinely do not remember where that is. I checked the programming page and that was not in there. I do appreciate that you can actually program your teammates to be relatively competent in this game, which is kind of nice. I just hate how slow it is to actually fight anything in this game, especially if you pick Duran. Like, Duran supposedly... Everyone has, like, the same attack speed I hear, but he just takes forever. His movement speed, his wind-up, it's just takes forever to do anything as him. So, I don't know, I think it's... Okay, so our Amazon leveled up. We don't ever want to upgrade Dexterity, because it's a useless stats. Spirit gives us magic defense, so we'll upgrade that, I guess. I think each of our characters does have to... learn at least one stat in Spirit in order to learn all their abilities. But I don't think that's something we have to worry about initially. I really hope you're feeling better, dear. I don't want you getting sick. I know I'm already feeling like crap, but that's because my sleep schedule's really messed up right now. And just, like, incredible amounts of stress. Oh, stress. Fun thing I've had to deal with my whole life, and it's just getting better by the day. Let's murder all the things. Also, we just got to see Mia's awesome whirlwind thing with her spear. The nice thing is, as we level up, as we increase our character's abilities and stuff, we will be able to gain better special abilities. That is not what I wanted to do. I really do not like how convoluted the control scheme is in this game compared to Secret of Mana. And the way they ported it to the Switch is not exactly ideal. Okay, so that's... Now I want to press select. I want to press select. Shoulder buttons, that's what I want. Okay. No. No. There we go. Okay. Gonna heal everyone real quick, because I think there's a boss fight coming up. And then we will try and figure this shit out. I'm just gonna swap to characters, just because it's faster to do this. I'm gonna accidentally heal the same person twice, I fear, because the UI to this is a little bit wonky. Once again, these menus should be mapped to the select and start buttons, but of course that's mapped to like the UI to this stupid thing, as well as the shoulder buttons. Like, there's a million ways you could have programmed this to work a little bit better, and they just didn't do that. Alright, I got Duran. And we got some chocolate. Chocolate makes everything better. That is a rule. So I'm pretty sure this is where we need to go. So we'll go to the save stone, just so we don't get murdered horribly. I think this boss, it's kind of recommended you're, like, bare minimum level 5, so I think we're gonna be okay. We do have Sprite's healing, so we should be okay in that regard. And I think there's a boss fight right about here. Yeah. These are the mage ladies who one of our characters can actually be a member of. If we picked her, we did not, because we decided to take the Valkyrie instead, which honestly is probably statistically the better character. But it's the Iron Golem, I think is what they're called in this game. I think in the Secret of Mana they were called Kettleciln and later Kilroy. And our team is already completely knackered. That's a problem. Okay, I would like that to go to Sprite so she can at least heal us. I've got a special I can throw out there, so we're going to do that the moment I can. Hopefully I'll actually hit with it. Okay, that's the right trigger. Okay. Now the nice thing is, once we actually hit level 18, regardless of what class we switch to, Sprite will get a group heal, which I think we desperately need. I think Duran can take a free hit, so we'll let him. I did go out and actually buy some extra equipment so that we wouldn't ideally die too quickly. I should really reprogram Sprite to actually be like someone who runs away from fights, really, because that's what she kinda is. That was my fault. I did kind of misread the whole program tree a little bit, but hopefully we can survive this. Nice use of all their specials at once there. And the cool thing is, as you get different classes and level up, you get better specials that look a lot flashier. Like, they get to be like cutscene style attacks, like that. Uh-oh. Okay, we need healing, and we need that on Sprite now. Yes, that's Sprite. Alright. I really do not like, even though it is basically just a variant of how Secret of Mana did its UI, I don't like how they did the UI to this game. Okay, I got special, so I'll use my cross slash. Sprite's gonna use hers. Everyone else is gonna use theirs. And we won! Hooray! That can actually be a really tough fight this early on. Like, you can beat them maybe at level 5, but it's kind of recommended you get to like level 10. Of course, one still survives, so it's going to do some nonsense that's going to make our lives a little bit worse. In that it's about to do this. Also, we got a dancing spot for style points. Also, my cat is meowing, so I'm going to go let him out and button mash through text. So, hopefully, I won't skip anything important. Alright. Okay. You want to talk about how silly my cat is? He scratches on my door and meows to be let outside, so I go out to let him outside. He gets to the outside door and then just hides under the boot thing so that he doesn't actually go outside. He just... I'm not sure he knows what he wants, but we still love him. Alright, so we didn't get any levels there, but that's okay. That's okay, we can, however, our path to where we need to go is now blocked, so we're gonna have to fix that. Fortunately, as we all remember, we did see cannon travel. Although it's not been perfected, so it might be kind of dangerous. Experimental cannon travel. The best kind of cannon travel. He's cute, sure, I guess. But that doesn't mean he's not smelly. He's a very, very needy cat, but he likes to make problems and be as loud as he possibly can. I'm kind of surprised I managed to record like a loot video for like 6 hours with him sitting next to me, and he didn't make a peep that entire time. Like, that's the least amount of time he's ever like started making really loud noises just because he wants attention. Because he's a very attention-wanting cat. And yet the weird thing about him is, you know, the moment you give him attention, like, he'll immediately feign like he doesn't want attention. Like, you know, he'll meow at you and you'll look at him and then he'll just look away and like pretend to yawn or like pretend to like start like just rubbing his face against a wall or something, trying to act like he doesn't want your attention. He's really weird sometimes, but I love him. He's the best cat. Alright. Let's not get murdered by Chobin Hoods. Fortunately, they're not as frustrating as they were in Secret of Mana, or at least in the Witch's Woods. I'm kind of excited to see what the new version of this game is going to be like, because it does look functionally very interesting. Like, it looks like, unlike the remake to Secret of Mana and Adventures of Mana, you know, it looks like they actively tried to make the game, you know, different. Okay, we're definitely increasing spirit because that's what our healer needs. After that, we probably just want to chuck everything into stamina, and I think you need like 1 point in intellect for one of her trees. Fortunately, we're not going to have to deal with class change until we're at least level 18. I know there's one place, the first place you can get class changes is actually a really fun place to grind for more experience, so I don't know how far away we're going to be until we get there, and I'm clearly losing my voice, but I think if we get there at some points, I'll probably just try and power level there to get our class changes. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Again, I don't know if I'm going to continue doing this. I don't know how long I'm going to play for, but I did Animal Crossing for 2 days yesterday, which freed up like a day of streaming. So I decided to do this. Although I wanted to do it a little earlier. I ended up kind of taking a nap and trying to feel a little bit better because I'm just feeling like crap. Alright, so here's where we gotta go, because this guy's got a cannon who will let you travel, potentially. He renamed his cannon, because it's funny like that. Let me in. That's great, let me in. It's not ready yet. Alright, we need a thing. Okay. Now, if I recall, to get the thing that we need, we have to go somewhere else entirely. Oh, of course, he's gone. Okay. Well, we gotta find some stuff. Kid, do you know what we're looking for? I don't think you do. Alright, just start talking to people. Got it. Standard RPG stuff, talk to everyone twice. I think now we have to actually go to the extra... Ah, that's where we need to go. We need to go to the Dwarf Village. Okay. I think that was the flag we needed in order to move on, so we're gonna go take a look as we fight more Chobin Hoods and bees that I still think the Secret of Mana bees looked way better. These bees just look kind of goofy. Whereas the Secret of Mana bees actually look like, you know, bees. Although, you know, as someone who doesn't care for bees, that's not necessarily a good thing. Alright, we won! Hooray, more experience. Alright. Gotta get up to that level 18. You know what I really don't like, though, is, like, there are 2 level ups and class changes. The second class change doesn't happen... Hey, Sykes. It doesn't happen until you're level 38, and I think you can beat this game at, like, level 35, so you kind of have to either grind or just, you know, sit around on your thumbs. Okay. We can't increase strength, which is our major stat, so we will increase stamina because defense. And then our backup, I think, is spirit because never, unless you're building a ninja, it's the only class that actually uses it. Never use dexterity because it is a useless stat. They misprogrammed it in the... Yeah, well, you know, if you know someone who'd be interested in this, let them know. They might get a kick out of the official English version that has visual bugs worse than the fan one that existed 20 years prior. But I love the Mana series. I'm kind of pissed off because I used to have a couple other Mana games. I used to have Children of Mana, which was not that great a game, and the PS2 Mana game, which I also remember not being super great. There should be a secret passage around here somewhere, I think. Like, I literally think it's right here. Do I have to go talk to someone else about the Dwarf Village? Because I will do it, but... Alright, well... I don't mind bumming around for more experience, I guess. But, like, that's the weird thing is, you know, you can beat the level, or you can beat the game by the time you get, like, the second class change, which really feels like it comes in too late. Oh, I appreciate you doing some promotion for me, because I am awful at it. Yeah, agility, completely useless stat in this game, unless you're building a assassin, which can only be one character, and I think it's one of his weaker, like, classes as well. But, you know, there's another thing about that that is just, like, beautifully exemplary of how this game was not the most well thought out. And then, I would like to try Legend of Mana. I think I have a digital version on my PS3, but I can't play my PS3 because HDCP sucks. But, you know, the main character we have, the warrior, half of his classes get the use of shields, and shields you would think would give you, like, defensive boosts and, like some sort of evasion buff against, like, stuff, which is what it's slated to do, but it's just like agility in general, it's just not programmed. So literally the one advantage to actually picking half of his classes is completely worthless, which is why you really should never pick a light class for your warrior unless for whatever reason you really want to give him a healing spell. But you don't ever want to give your warrior a healing spell. That's probably a bad path if your warrior is your dedicated group healer. Although, granted, my first party was the warrior, the thief, and, like, the offensive mage. And I was literally just spamming items because no one healed, and that was not good. I liked Sprite from the first game. He was my favorite character. In fact, he was, like, my favorite video game character of all time. I'm just sad they butchered the remake of that game so bad. Like, that is a game, and bear in mind, I'm someone who doesn't care about achievements or trophies. That is a game I 100% got every achievement in, including, like, everything for grinding all the equipment, just so that if I ever, like, hit my head and started actually caring about that stuff, I would have zero reason to ever play it again. That remake is so bad. That is one of 2 games I've ever done that with. The other was The Elder Scrolls Oblivion, because that game bugged out on me so hard. I hate it with a passion. Okay, maybe we gotta talk to someone else about Dwarf Village. Just before the bridge. Okay. Well, chances are we probably actually know everything we need to, but we're gonna talk to everyone just on the offshoot. But I really want to try Legend of Mana. Like I said, I got it digitally, and I think I played it for a very brief time, but then my you know, TV and PS3 kind of broke, so I never really got a chance to get into it. Okay, I think we've now officially talked to everyone. We're going to heal up again, just in case. And I'm going to heal this up. The one I'm connected to in Secret of Mana is the Sprite, the red-haired guy who's like the dedicated offensive mage, but I always give him the sword because the sword's my favorite weapon. That's also partly why I picked the Sprite in this game, just because, although she's not a Sprite, I'm pretty sure she's just like 8, which is why she's got a speech impediment. Which actually is probably like the most frustrating thing about her. She's one of the best characters too, because she's the dedicated healer who can actually become like a witch that has like super awesome summons and stuff. Which we're going to explore that route, spoilers. Although I don't think we're going full on that route, just because she gets one other really good ability in a different class that can kind of break the game wide open. Alright, our Amazon leveled up. We want to boost... well, technically we can kind of boost... I know we need intellect for one ability down the road, but that's not going to come up for a while. So, similarly to our warrior, we're just going to go strength, stamina, and then boost spirit as a third. Like, that's the nice thing is, unless you're playing like the one dedicated offensive mage, you don't really ever need to upgrade intellect outside of maybe once for each character just to get like a special ability. Fun fact, Popey, the Sprite, which I always just call Sprite because that's always what I've called him, he is not necessarily the third character you get. It depends on how you start the game. He can actually be the second character you get. Just depends how you pick up the girl character. Because you can put yourself in a situation where you actually never meet the girl character until you get to the witch. You can put yourself in a situation where she joins you and then abandons you. And you can put yourself in a situation where she joins you from the start. And, you know, that's another great thing about Secret of Mana, is it has, like, 4 different ways your team can actually kind of, like, meet. And yet they never actually, like, bother to have, like, any other different situations where you can change up the orders of stuff, which kind of sucks. Okay, now it's supposed to be before the bridge, which tells me it should be here. I'm just gonna save here. Or maybe I just need to do this. Okay, Fairy might be able to do something. You're useless, Fairy. Well, we got Wisp, so I guess we're gonna use Wisp, although now she's being called Lumina, which was the sword from Brave Fencer Musashi. Yeah. The way you gain your team in Secret of Mana can actually be quite variable. If you take the cannon to, like just outside of Potos, if you take the cannon to the second town, which is Pandora, she won't actually join your party at any point. If you walk to Pandora, which is the sensible thing because you get experience, she'll save you from a goblin trap, and then she can join you later if you run into her in Pandora. You can skip that entirely and run into her fighting 2 werewolves, which is like a mini-boss type of thing. If she joins you and you go straight to Gaia's Navel, she'll actually abandon you because she thinks her quest for her boyfriend's a little bit more important. And then you have to team up with her fighting werewolves again. And I think she sticks with you if you run into the goblins, team up with her, run straight to the witch's forest, and then you run into a situation where you don't have equipment. She says, okay, well, clearly we can't do anything here. Let's worry about your adventure and we'll go back to mine later. So yeah, there's some interesting stuff. Also, I can buy some new gear. Yes, please. I will buy that. Can I swap teammates? I can't. But I will hand that off to Mia. I will hand this off to Sprite. Now I got some equipment. We definitely need some new armor, though. I think this is just an item shop. Oh no, Watt's the shopkeeper. You know, that guy who upgraded your weapons in the previous game? He's back! He's this game's Sid. Cup of Wishes. I do want Cup of Wishes, but I want to see if there's some new armor, so we'll come back to here after we get some armor, because I feel like Cups of Wishes will be useful. This is the armor place, I think. Give me armor, please. I need to equip myself better. Alright. I need common mail. I need a feather vest, which really does not sound that useful. We'll give that to our Valkyrie. And we'll equip the cleric robe to our cleric, and that'll give us a minor boost in all our stats. Now, I gotta figure out how to use these menus again, because this stupid menu system is awkward in this game. Alright, here we go. Okay, confirm. Select equipment, so we're going to swap to Gladius. Also, T on sword, because, you know, the people who actually made this, they cannot be above visual bugs. I want to point out right now, this game is on par with the fan translation that existed 20 years before at Square Enix. What the hell? Okay. Select the equipment and confirm to switch OST. Alright. Awesome. Please feel better. I don't want you coughing and sneezing and feeling sick. Alright, we'll equip that. We didn't buy any other equipment, so that's okay. Gotta swap to our characters, which, despite in the rest of the game, can be done with the shoulder buttons. Here it has to be with select, for whatever reason. Alright, we gotta equip our new flail. Because even though we are a healer, we do need to actually equip some stuff. We gotta take the Moogle suit off. Alas, poor Moogle suit. Spear. Thank you. Thank you, visual bugs. I really want to point out that the English translation made by fans had less visual issues than this, which is depressing. Great game, but seriously, Square Enix. I mean, you people had the frickin' source code to this. It should not be this bad. Great game, but to be fair, it's not the official Moogle suit, it's actually sheep pajamas, but still. Yes, shout out to my wonderful girlfriend in chat. I have stat channels in my chat. Interesting. Weirdly enough, I know I have one that actually follows me when I'm not streaming, which is weird. I really should learn more about this stuff and actually, you know, pretend to be competent at the thing I'm trying to do. But, you know, every day, learn something new, I guess. I think one of them is like a weird Autobots follow channel. Like, I clicked on them just because I was curious what they were, and it seemed like a bunch of automated messages and like just auto hosting and stuff. Alright, so now I gotta go find Watts. Actually, I'm gonna go buy some Cups of Wishes just on the off chance. No, it was Lure XX was even here when I was offline, so I don't know. These are so expensive, but they'll be useful down the road. I think, for whatever reason, they've decided to make the magic rope one-use items, which is weird. Fortunately, we now have a dedicated healer in our party, so at the very least, we should be okay to heal. You know, I kind of wish, at the very least, those channels would actually, like, buff the stats of the channel. Like, it feels like it's kind of cheap that they don't do that. Okay, so that's a save point. We gotta go somewhere which is further down the cave. Is that here? Are you Watts? I need to upgrade my weapons. I think we need to come back here with Gnome, I think. I think that room is particular for one character. Yeah, I think we need Gnome to do a thing there. Okay, so Watts is somewhere down further in the cave, but I'm not seeing an entrance for it. You mentioned Watts. I'd like to see him, please. I don't think there's an exit anywhere in here. Yeah, Watts has some, but Watts isn't in because he's somewhere else. Alright, so I think we got a new boss coming up, which I want to say is called, like, the Gem Eater or something like that. What the heck was this guy's deal? He just tore ass across the entire place. He's afraid of me. As he should be. Alright, so he's supposed to be further down, but, I mean, we just looked everywhere, so unless it's just a matter of talk to everyone, come back, and this is him. Alright, well, let's explore the caves, I guess. I don't think there was much to actually explore. I'm pretty sure it's just a straight shot, but... There we go. Also, that's a really effective freaking pickaxe. You're mean. I'm a badass adventurer, thank you. This is kind of my jam right here. Okay, Dwarf Tunnel. Fighting slimes. We're now fighting level 4 creatures, so yeah, we are getting more experience. Actually, we're not. You want to talk about a weird game when it came to, like, monsters, levels, and experience? Talk about, Saga Frontier. I think it was Saga Frontier. The PS1 one. I have that game. Mainly because it has a Secret of Mana reference. You can play as Flammy, which is kind of neat. Spicy Nesquik? That's, a part of me is morbidly curious about that. Oh, I play Animal Crossing every single night, too, which is... Oh, someone's back there. We gotta talk to him. But, you know, I had an extra day of Animal Crossing because it crossed over, so I decided, you know, I want to go back to playing this. And I'm thinking after I do Animal Crossing, which is like a year-long thing, like after the year, I think what I'm going to do is leave it up to my supporters Discord to vote on games, but pretty much every game I've got right now is just obscure RPGs, so this is kind of like a taste of that, I guess. Run this way, there's some little bit of visual buggery there. Kill these guys. But yeah, Saga Frontier was a bizarre game because no matter where you went in the world, enemies would always scale to your level, and they were always like, the moment you leveled, you get like the next tier of enemies, which that sounds like it would mean that no matter where you go, you're never behind, which is true, but it also meant you never had an advantage anywhere, and you couldn't really power level anywhere. And there were specific characters that learned abilities like Final Fantasy Blue Mages, where you had to get hit by it in order to learn the ability. So if you happen to get that character like really late in the game, you would never actually get all those abilities. And the thing is, that game is entirely non-linear by design, so you could entirely not get that character at all, or get him like right at the end and he'd be useless. That is a weird game, and I really... Part of me wants to play it again, and the other part of me just doesn't like the idea, because those Saga games are rough. Like, I played Romancing Saga on the... I don't think you can actually pay for that if you do have the money, by the way. You know, I played Romancing Saga on the Super Nintendo, and that was a game I played for... And I had an English translation, bear in mind. It wasn't just me bumbling around in Japanese, not knowing what was going on. I played that game for 3 hours straight, and I never ran into a fight. I never ran into any semblance of plot or anything I was actually supposed to do. It was literally just me running from town to town, talking to people, trying to figure out what the hell I was supposed to be doing. Like, I'm all for non-linearity. There's a reason why I don't like the Final Fantasy 13 games, fundamentally. Aside from the fact it's Final Fantasy after 6, but, you know, non-linearity is great, but you still have to be able to actually figure out what the plot is and have at least some idea of what you're doing. And those Saga games are a little rough. I've been told the Game Boy Saga games are a little bit better, but like the original Mana game, it was under a Final Fantasy title, which means it's automatically very expensive. And it's the same reason why I don't have Final Fantasy Adventure yet. Although it is in this collection, I want to get a physical copy of it, just because I'm such a big fan of the series. Even though I have played the remake of it, which I assume is actually pretty much one-to-one what the original was slated to be, and it is a very old-feeling game and not very good. Conversely, you could play Sword of Mana, which is also a remake of that game, which plays like the Super Nintendo games and is frickin' awesome. And once again, I am bitter it's not on this collection. Instead, we got the crappy original version, which plays sort of vaguely like the original Dragon Quest in terms of bizarre item management that doesn't really make the game fun. And it really sucks, because original Dragon Quest is really good too, but, you know, the fact that you have to constantly manage torches and keys and stuff just really, really makes that way too finicky to be something to go back to every once in a while. And I mean, I played the enhanced version on the Super Nintendo, which was better. Although I've heard the Game Boy Advance original Dragon Quest collection is actually like the best way to play it in terms of gameplay, just because they lower enemy damage and they up like experience, so it plays just a little bit better. But you know, I'm trying to come up with a list for the Discord to vote on for stuff I can do after Animal Crossing, but right now all I've got is like Live Alive, which is one of my favorite RPGs on the Super Nintendo, and Opuna, which is one of my favorite RPGs on the Wii. Both games no one's ever heard of, but they're both excellent. Completely different games, though. Actually, that's kind of the funny thing is, you know, as much as I dumped on Saga Frontier specifically, but the Saga games in general, you know, Live Alive is basically Saga if Saga was done right. And funnily enough, I'm pretty sure it's done by the same team. But Live Alive is probably one of the best import to Super Nintendo RPGs you can get. It's one of what I would consider to be the big five for importing RPGs, the other being Seiken Densetsu 3, which is this, Terranigma, what are the others? Treasure of Rudra, Rudra no Hiho, and Bahamut Lagoon, although that one's more of a strategy game. Well, I think older games are harder than newer games for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's just the sheer design fact of... I find three-dimensional games to be easier just by virtue of you have an extra dimension of evasion. So it's actually harder to get hit than in 2D games. Oh shit, we're actually going to get into a fight. That's less than ideal. Okay, so what we're going to do is use candy. Actually... what I probably should do is just heal ball everyone and use candy just on the off chance that Sprite gets knocked down. Okay, heal up our Hero Man guy with his awesome mane. 'Cause that's really the only way you can describe his hair is that is a mane. Alright, I want to heal up Mia. Stupid. Okay, so this is a fun thing about Switches in general, but also like just the Switch version of this game, is Switch controllers have a little bit of drift in them, and especially for this game, it actually makes menuing a little bit tricky. I tended to find Bahamut Lagoon a little bit autopilot for my tastes. I don't like strategy games mostly, though. I tend to find them a little bit overly difficult for me. I prefer more adventure in my RPG than strategy. But my go-tos are adventures and RPGs, so... oh, Shy Guy's Toy Box. That is one of my favorite levels in that game. Okay, there's the Jewel Eater. Ah, shit, I don't have any magic or anything. Okay, so we're just gonna keep wailing on him at this point. Because there's not much else we can do. Got my special. Just gotta make sure my teammates don't drop below 100 health. I think Mia's the one we should probably heal up right now. Did you fight the really angry Shy Guy is the question. I wish I had a copy of Mario 6 or Paper Mario. That was one of the best N64 games, I think. Sprites. Okay, yeah, you can kind of see it's like sometimes skipping 2 characters. That is actually really awkward. But that's kind of playing this. Yeah, I've got the Wii version, but the problem is that's on my Wii U and I don't have a controller that's compatible to play it. Which is kind of obnoxious. I've got the same problem with a bunch of, like, Wii games I have. Like, all my Wii stuff's on my Wii U right now. And, like, I just have no way of accessing it just because the way they designed the controllers were just kind of awkward. Charge up, and we're gonna fight this angry mole creature, because he's angry and he's a mole. This is where Monty Mole ran to, by the way. He ran to be a villain in Seiken Densetsu 3 because no one would ever happen to find him. Also, that's really not what we want to get hit by. Okay. Heal up Sprite first, because she's our dedicated healer. Actually, can I access? Please tell me I can access. I can't access menus. Okay. We're going to set Sprite to heal me, because I'm her frontline attacker. Yeah, I don't have any Wii Classic controls. I've got a bunch of, like, weird, bizarre Wii peripherals that I got for free, but I don't have any Classic controllers, which sucks. Like, when I played stuff on the Wii, I just used a GameCube controller because it was the good controller. Now, this is one thing I like, is if you use, like, one of your specials and it misses, you don't lose the charge for it. So you can just keep reusing it over and over. The problem is you still have to, like, wait for the wind-up. But otherwise, you can still use it, which is nice. Heal up my character, just to be safe. I'm definitely playing this defensively, because you know, this is one of those games where if you die, you have to go back to your save point, and I don't want to do that, because I'm impatient. You know, the nice thing is once we start getting, like, abilities and stuff, we will be really wrecking shop. Okay, so we are in a less than ideal position. We're going to make this work. Swap over, heal up. I think Mia needs to heal more. So we're going to charge in with sword. And I could probably take an extra hit, but I don't want to risk it. So we're going to heal up there. And we're just going to keep wailing on Monty Mole. So, spoilers, what I'm planning on doing with our team build, you know, assuming that we play long enough to actually get there, is we're going to make our hero basically as offensively oriented as he possibly can. Basically, we're just going to make his passive attack just completely tear anything up, because he can actually become the strongest physical attacker in the game. Oh shit, we're out of that. That's not good. And then, if we happen to take our cleric down the witch path, she happens to learn an ability that drops every single stat of a single enemy, and it works on bosses. And our Valkyrie happens to learn an ability that will raise the stat of any one character on our team. So basically, we're just going to completely wreck shop. I appreciate you throwing my name out there as best you can. I know I can't market myself well enough. I'm just the worst at that. Oh, that's gonna hurt. And we're out of... Okay. Okay, well... How do I... Alright, do we have... Heal statuses? We don't have any. Oh, this is gonna start hurting real hard. Here's where we're gonna have to start using Cups of Wishes, which is awful. Hopefully it's not gonna come to that. It's not gonna be quite Glass Cannon. We're gonna have some survivability, but basically we're just gonna boost our offensive and then just decrease our opponent to basically nothing. And like, hopefully if we play it long, because we picked the warrior, we actually get one of the, also a great visual bug right there. Well made there, Square Enix. And it's persisting, that's great. This is a well-made translation. I'm pretty sure the fan game never did shit like this, so I'm thinking this is inferior to the fan thing that's existed for 20 years. Okay. Well, we killed the boss for you. Give us the thing. Also, we get Gnome, which is kind of nice. So now we get an extra member to our team, who should teach us a few new abilities, I think. I think after this, like our first real area, okay, our cleric's leveling up, we want to boost her spirit. We cannot right now, so what we're going to chuck her stats into is stamina, so she boosts her defense. That's really it then, huh? Alright, well. I think our next big area that we have to go to is, I think it's called like the Windy Corridor. And I think the Windy Corridor is where we can run into our very first class change, which is useful. Now the problem is we are at present at our lowest point about 10 levels too low. And for some reason I can't save above that, so I'm just going to save to all those just to be careful. Good old Gnome. Alright, so like I said, in order to get the first class change, we have to be level 18. If indeed the next area that I think we have to go to, like the main area anyway, is the Windy Corridor, I might just start grinding there off screen, but that won't happen until like after we get to the boss there, so you know, we got time. Alright, our fighter leveled up, and we can boost his strength, which is our #1 priority, so yes please. Now the problem is, well, I know exactly what I want our warrior to be, because like I said, every class change you can sort of become one of two things. You get a light path and a dark path, which leads to a grand total of 4 potential outcomes for your character. I know the path I want our warrior to take is double dark. I think our cleric needs to go dark to become a witch, and then light to learn the awesome debuffs. Although if she becomes double dark, she gets some summoning powers. I think, and the problem is our Valkyrie. I can't quite remember the path for her. I think it's light then dark, but I'm not quite sure. I know she kind of becomes a support attacker and a dedicated summoner, and I just remembered we got to do something about putting our poor mage in the front line, because that's a terrible, terrible idea. Okay, this is the programs thing. Let's see. So it's select to get to different characters. I want to go as far away as possible. So I guess we'll try and attack untargeted enemies, and then we'll just have her use her special. Now for our Amazon, we're gonna try and assist her, just so that she's kind of covered. And then our guy's just gonna, I guess, try and attack constantly. Like, this is not gonna help if we're not gonna play as our main character, and we're pretty much always gonna play as our main character, just because I like uncomplicated characters. I mean, I'm the kind of guy who plays Tales of Symphonia and basically just sticks to Lloyd, just because I do not like overly complicated characters. If an AI wants to play as an overcomplicated character, go for it. If I can just hit things with swords, yes please. I know, I used to, when I was in high school, play a metric crap ton of, like, MMOs. And the best class for me was always, like, tank, because it's always just run up and hit the enemy, and don't worry about abilities, just, you know, boost passives that allow you to survive. You know, it was simple, and it worked. That's how I played. The one example, or the one exception to that rule was Phantasy Star Online 2, where I played as a bouncer. And I had to really understand some comboing stuff, but PSO2 is a very different style of MMO. And that's actually why I like it better than any other MMO. Because unlike every other MMO, it's not trying to be a knockoff of WoW, it's actually trying to be good. But yeah, our team is basically designed to allow me to basically just do as much damage as I possibly can without having to rely on micromanaging multiple characters. Also, fun story, I think this version, because it is basically just a port of the original non-modified version, has up to 2-player multiplayer, whereas the fan translation actually was modded out to have 3-player. So, once again, I think the actual fan game for the Super Nintendo actually is better than this, in a lot of ways. But, first time we ever get to canon travel. Hooray. Actually, this game features a lot of different modes of travel, because we were on a boat, we get to travel by cannon. I think... yeah, we're pretty far away from where we wanted to be. But we're still on our way to kind of our hometown to talk to the king, which then will I believe tells us to just go to the Windy Corridor. Again, I think is what it's called. I know it's the place where the wind element is. And it's one of like 3 places where you can find mana stones, which you need if you want to level up. I'll save here just because, again, I don't want to backtrack if I can help it. I think the boss of that area is a little bit tricky, though. But we'll figure it out. Fall down holes to pop out of other holes, because that's how holes work. I always thought these statues might, like, at night turn into monsters or something, because there's a day and night cycle. They don't. They're just there. Oh, not only does this game have a dragon, it has Flammy. But what's better is, well, what's better? No, there's nothing better than Flammy. Let's just be honest, Flammy is the best mode of transportation in any game, except perhaps Panzer Dragoon. The solo wing from Panzer Dragoon. Dragon after my own name is possibly better than Flammy, but not by much. He was Sega's Flammy. Even looks kind of like him in a way. I'm excited that they're remaking Panzer Dragoon. I don't think they're going to do Saga, which is, of course, the expensive one I want, but, you know, I'm always going to get Panzer Dragoon, and, you know, I think even if they get Saga, I'm still going to have to try and get a Saturn copy, because I'm the biggest fan of the Saturn ever. Saturn is the best console. Yes, this game has Flammy. I don't know about the other Mana games, because I haven't played them all, but I know Flammy started in Secrets, was in this game, and showed up in Children of Mana on the DS. And in fact, he was something you got out of the gate in Children of Mana because it was the only way to actually get to dungeons. But, again, I haven't played a lot of Legend of Mana, and when I played it, Dawn of Mana didn't feature Flammy too much. I don't think he was in it at all. Dawn of Mana was a peculiar game, though. That was like a weird adventure game meets, like, physics platformer where your weapon changed elements and stuff. And I remember one of the types of weapons you could turn into was like this weird whip that was like, you could tie around physics objects and use to like get to hidden areas. I remember having a blast with that game, even though honestly I don't remember it being any good. I wish that hadn't been stolen from me, but also, speaking of Mana, something I learned recently is they're making a Mana art book. And I'm not the biggest art book guy, but I am the biggest, like, Mana guy ever, so I think I might have to invest in a copy of that. And it's coming out the day after my birthday, along with the Yakuza collection, so I think I might have to get myself a bit of a birthday present. Alright, so it's defaulting to Dexterity. That means Strength is not available, which, again, I don't like. We can boost Stamina, which I think we will. We do have to bear in mind that Spirit, once again, will increase our element resistance. Intellect, we're going to need like 1 point in during her next class, I think, to get a ability, but that's about it. I'm pretty excited about that Mana art book, just because I do think it covers every Mana game, including like the remakes that are coming out. Also, the bizarre chibi girl wearing a bee outfit is now a monster because reasons. The bee lancer. I don't like these bee designs, but I kind of like that design just because I think that's cute. Now, I think this is the way back to the bridge, but I'm okay with taking this path just for extra experience, because, like I said, we're going to have to be level 18 to get our class changed, and I want to take advantage of that as soon as I can. So, grabbing as much experience as we possibly can. Yeah, this is Stone Split Gap, which is where we were. So we get to have a nice little look at the background as we run down here and take a look at that. And that was the bridge we were on before those asshole mages blew it up with their Kilroys and stone golems or whatever they were called. I just remember what they were called in secret. But gotta kill some more hedgehogs that are blue and spin at supersonic speeds, because they gotta go fast. Alright, the Bee Lancer. I like that design. It feels like it gutted one of the bees from Secret of Mana and is wearing it as a hat. Like, it's nice someone remembers the actually really nice designed bee enemies. It's just bizarre. It's on this weird, like, chibi girl who's now half bee because reasons. Uh-oh. It looks like a thing happened. And it was those asshole mages who were up to no good. Starting trouble in the neighborhood. This seems vaguely familiar, because I remember another mage who attacked our kingdom and was an asshole, and I'm pretty sure was one of these people. Eh, that guy. That guy right there. That's the asshole mage. That's our final villain, who in any other story would probably whine about how he's not the actual villain, and how the other villains of the game are definitely the real villain of the game, because for whatever reason this game is weirdly paced in storytelling. I was talking to the mage, not you, night guy. Honestly, I wanted to know what was wrong with the mage. I wanted to come to some understanding. Now the nice thing is, we have a gold statue here, so we can fully heal and save, which means we do have a grinding spot if we need it. So we're gonna fight more golems. Hey, it's the Black Mage! Actually, I think it's the Time Wizard from Final Fantasy III, but still, it's the Black Mage. I love the Black Mage. It's such a great design of a character. It's just, I'm a hat. You can see my eyes under a hat, but all I am is a hat. Such a classic design. And now it all comes full circle, because as we remember, the game literally started here, fighting a robot. Which, actually, all things cyclical reminds me of the start of one of the chapters in Live Alive. I just mean, like, generic Black Mage. Vivi is basically just a remake of Black Mage in general. Actually, if you want to have, like, the best representation of Black Mages ever, you should go read, what is it, 8-Bit Theater, which was, like, the, Final Fantasy I Sprite comic. It was the greatest thing ever because the Black Mage was like this megalomaniacal idiot. He was the greatest character ever. Actually, to be fair, the greatest character in 8-Bit Theater was the thief, who was such an excellent thief, he ended up stealing his class change from himself from the future. Oh, if one day I aspire to be as great a thief as the thief. Actually, that's part of the reason why I hate all the remakes to original Final Fantasy, because they got rid of the awesome thief sprite with his badass blue hair and pointy ears. I liked back when he was, you know, an elf and not some dude in like a bandana with a math teacher mustache. Ugh. Whatever they did to the thief class, it just doesn't look half as cool as it used to. Oh good, it's this asshole wizard we're not going to be able to kill again because we don't have class change. No, see, we can't kill him yet. He's the final boss because we don't have class change and stuff and stuff and stuff. Actually, most of the time when I play Final Fantasy 1, it's for the 8-bit theater cast. Like, I always just pick... I always go against my gut instinct and I add a red mage to my team. It's like, I always want a white mage. Always pick the red mage instead, even though I always regret it. And you know, it sucks because thieves are entirely worthless because agility is a stat, like this game, is completely not used. So, you know, thieves are completely worthless in that game as well, but it's like, you know, thieves is such a great class in that game, so I have to have it. Okay, so these are the stones we need to collect. If I recall, there's only like 3 in the game we actually get into contact with. And when we run into one of these, then we can actually class change. Provided we hit level 18 and 38 respectively. And I believe for 38 we need a specific item that corresponds to which evolution we want, which is going to require some grinding, which is kind of a pain in the ass. Now fortunately, this version has save states, so theoretically if I save before killing an enemy that makes a drop, because the moment it drops it's predetermined, unlike Secret of Mana, which was determined the moment you open the chest, I can save some time if I want to grind for items for stuff. Alright, so... the Windstone, right. Now, the Windstone is the first element stone we run into. It's the first one we need to get a hold of, and it is the one that will allow us to class change. It's also, I believe, where our Valkyrie hangs out, and where she starts. See, I like the idea of red mages, but they just come across as so bloody useless by the end of it. Hey, it's that guy. Except it's not, it's Bonjour. Originally it's supposed to be Bonjour, Bon Voyage, and Bonsoir is the family, but for whatever reason they decided to completely rename their characters because Square Enix just have lost the prospect of what fun is, I guess. Yes, so did Red Mage. He loved being so versatile that he took so many strategic, you know, hits to his character sheet, like Bedwetting, in order to be, like, the best character ever. I need to read that comic again. That was such a brilliant, comic. Okay, I'm not sure, but I think there might be a inventory change now. So we might be able to buy some new stuff from here if I can figure out where the weapon shop is. There's the bar. See, unfortunately we don't have the proper team, because there is something I would like to see. In the original fan collection, you can try to go back to your hero's house, and if you have the offensive mage in your party, your hero will say, like, let's skip this is my house, I vowed never to come back here. And I think your offensive mage just makes a joke saying, yeah, it was just because you didn't want to see your porn collection or something like that. I don't think that's in this translation, for obvious reasons, but at the same time, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of wrote around it in some way. But this translation seems a little bit iffy. Okay, now we're actually getting gauntlets, which is nice. I don't think we actually got a proper set of gauntlets yet, but this will at least boost our defense by a couple points. Oh, there's our nitro, which I don't know what that's actually used for. That's supposed to only use for the thing. And then I think it's supposed to be removed from your inventory, but it's clearly not here. So I'm not sure if that's yet another reason why not to get this version, because it wasn't programmed half as well as the fan translation, but still. We got ourselves... Select the equipment and confirm to switch Thank you. Text size. Okay, so swap with select, despite everywhere else it being the shoulder buttons. Put the ring. We are going to move out. We do have to restock our supply of candy, I think. And I do believe that... Let's see. How do I... Alright, and if I actually understood how to block things, I would block that. But I don't know how to do that because I'm inept at what I do. Let's see, chat settings. I don't know how to do that. I did it once before. I'm going to pretend I know how to do my job. Alright. Now, I think the bridge is still out. We need to take a cannon, but the cannon's not set up properly yet. I think we do actually have to go back in and talk to that guy again. Alright. Still setting up, so it might mean that we have to sleep overnight. Is what we need to do. So, where is the inn? Here. I think there's an item shop here as well. Oh, good. I want to point out this is our home, and yet it costs more than anywhere else. I know there's a way to block stuff like that, I can't figure out the function right now. Okay, we saved, that's great, but I want to rest for the night. Alright, press button, Salamando Day. I think that on various days there are actually discounts at certain shops. I think is what that means. Like on the Mana Holy Day stuff has like a 10% discount or something like that. Okay. Yes, we need to buy as many fairy walnuts as we can. Because these are going to let us use as much magic as we want. Max out on candy. Cancel. Honey elixir. I don't know what that does, and I'm not going to risk it. But we can buy chocolate because I know what that does. Oh, it says on the right. Recovers full HP. That's actually not too bad. Now, we don't actually have a lot of HP for that to need. In fact, chocolate is overkill, because we don't even have 300. But still, it is a new day. There's a very sleepy dog here, who's still being very sleepy. He will be very sleepy for the rest of the game. But, I think now the cannon should be set up. Or not. I don't know where I'm supposed to go then, because I know we got to set up the cannon in order to leave this place. I guess this is one of those just sort of talk to everyone sort of situations, I guess. Or I need to talk to the king a couple times just to get like the okay to set up a cannon in his courtyard. I could see why someone might have a problem with that, I guess. I feel like I'm climbing the castle in Final Fantasy IV all of a sudden. King, I need a cannon. Make that a thing. Okay, yeah, I get that, but the bridge is still out. I don't think that's been repaired yet. Okay, well, we'll wander around, talk to some people. Maybe we have to go and see that the bridge is out. Or something. I can't remember the exact what we have to do. It's been a long time since I played this game through properly. I just remember how weird the storytelling in this game gets. Well, we can't get to a boat because the only way to a boat would be through the bridge that got taken out. And the only way we got here was with a cannon. And that guy'll set up a cannon, but he says it's going to take some time. So unless someone's repaired the bridge... which I don't think is the case. Well, we can go see the bridge, see if we can get across. If not, we'll just run back to town and talk to everyone else, I guess is a starting point for us. Kill him. Kill the chibi bee girl. It's the most adorable bee ever. It's a bee I almost don't hate because it's a bee. I don't think I've ever actually been stung by bees, but I stepped on a wasp nest a few years ago. That kind of sucked. We don't get Flammy until later. We actually get a different creature to ride before we get Flammy. But we need to take a boat before that happens. But Flammy will come eventually. Okay, so down here. The bridge. It is still out. Congratulations, game. Thank you for showing me that. It didn't set up any sort of prompt to use any spirits. I figure, like, we could use Fairy to float over it like we did that other place. Or we could use Gnome to build a path or something, but no. That's fine. I mean, free experience, that's a big plus. It'll help us try not to get murdered by the next boss, I guess. I think maybe what we're missing is, like any good RPG, we have to go to the bar, talk to everyone there, and then we have to, like, go to our character's house. And that might set up a flag that just says, okay, you've sufficiently explored. You can now do that, because I think this is a situation where you have to understand that the characters in your party aren't necessarily the characters who could be in your party. So you kind of have to explore the world and see what potentially their world would be like if you weren't playing as that character. Yeah, that's not quite what your offensive mage says if she's in your party in the fan translation. Okay, so next plan. Just talk to everyone until invisible flags. Now, you know, again, all things cyclical, this is one thing I absolutely didn't like about, as much as I love Live Alive, one of the things I hated about it is one of the chapters, and it was, bear in mind, the second chapter I picked, because you can pick whatever chapter you want, because they're all disconnected. The second chapter I picked is the longest one, and it is just entirely jumping from invisible flag to invisible flag, hoping something works, and it's like, you know, that's not good. That made me almost completely, like, not play that game at all. Which sucks, because the first chapter I played was the excellent Assassin chapter. And the third one I played, I want to say, was the very fun Survival Horror chapter. Isn't that a sleepy puppy? Now, the problem is, with the day and night cycle, it could be that we have to talk to someone at a different time of day as well. Which is just another layer of something that I don't want to deal with, but we probably will. Hello, little girl. Have you seen a cannon being built in the courtyard? If not, I've done something wrong. Like, I wish they would just say, okay, go talk to this person, and then stuff would happen. Like, that was one really nice thing about Secret of Mana, is if you ran into a problem where you had to talk to someone to advance the plot. The Mystery of Mana Stone. They're full of mystery. Thank you. It's a very useful library. But, you know, that's the thing. It's like, you know, if it told you you had to go see and talk to one specific person, it would tell you exactly who you had to see and talk to. It wasn't just a matter of just bumble around until you've done the right thing. I do actually have a guide in one of my tabs, just in case. Maybe I have to talk to the frickin' fortune teller again. And maybe my character will threaten her again. Because, you know, this fortune teller is really not useful. Well, we've harassed a fortune teller, again. Although in a slightly less direct manner than the first time. Maybe that's enough to set up the cannon. If not, I do have a guide on the tab I could open up. I just kind of have to get a vague idea of where I am on that guide, and I can figure... Ah, there it is. Alright, there we go. And this guy's a better shot than his brother, so he'll at least get us where we ask to be sent. Go team. Team competency. Bonk. Alright, there we go. The safest mode of travel. Cannon travel. Alright, so now I think we have to go to the other town that was locked off to us before. And that'll take us to the wind place. Yeah, no, he's actually a good shot. His brother sent us to the middle of the wilderness. You know, and good accuracy is kind of what you expect in a travel system that is predicated on not getting sent into a cliff or the ocean or, you know, just some random monster den. I gotta remember where the secret boss in this game is, because I know since we're playing the fighter, we can run into the secret boss. And I think it'd be kind of fun to go up against him. Yeah. Well, I mean, considering that the other one completely missed his target, that could have ended worse than us ending up in the middle of the wilderness, I guess, but... You know, compared to Secret of Mana, I mean, that had cannon travel down to an art form. This one, it's still sort of a science people are messing around with to try and figure out what to do to do things properly. Good old Rabbites. I looked it up, and you can get like a giant plush Rabbite. They actually did release them as like crane prizes, but they're rare and expensive. It's like sad. I like Rabbites. They're my second favorite creature in Secret of Mana. Shoven Hood. Oh, I like that they're not as frustrating as they were in Secret, but that's because Secret, where they introduced them, was like really, really stupidly hard. Like, it introduced them like in an area where they're basically in like little tiny cul-de-sacs that you kind of have to just sort of take hits from before you can hit them. The problem with making my own, like, Rabbite plush or something like that would imply that I'd be good with my hands and I know how to sew. Those are two things I'm not. Like, I'm trying to work on model building just to build up my hand dexterity because I'm so bad. Alright, new town. That means new gear. Possibly. Where's our new gear? Not to be confused with the game New Gear, sometimes translated as the Journey Home. Ah, this is the black market. I think this is where we have to buy stuff. Alright. I think this guy tells us something important. Okay, we need nighttime. So where is the inn? Dead end, because well-designed city is well-designed. Rabbi tacos. That's adorable. Yeah, I tried to... The only time I've ever sewed, like, with any degree of competency, I was in grade 3 and I had to sew, like, a little coaster made of shredded up shirts as a Christmas present project from school. I just said sleep till the morning. God damn it. Alright, well, let's try this again. Yeah, we might as well save. Now, I think there is some stuff we actually need from the black market aside from just that you can buy stuff there, so we'll actually go there and do a thing. Yes. Only 75 freaking GP. Just because I want to sleep till night so I can actually do a thing. Damn it. Alright, it's Undine Day still, because we only slept like 6 hours, which is still more than I normally sleep. I'm envious of being able to sleep 6 hours. Alright, here's where we are. Black market. Where everything's kind of skeevy. I would like to buy. Now, these are items that you can use to do, like, one-shot elemental attacks. Sort of like usable magic spells, sort of. Not too useful for us, though. Well, I mean, it could be, but I'm not going to bother investing in them. These are... Typically, you want to save these for using with a thief class. Because they get boosts to, like, thrown items. Got live entertainment and fire call. Because the black market has dancers. Because black markets always have live entertainment, I guess. They're so talented. Hooray. Okay, let's see. This person's selling poached animals, I believe. Ah, slaves. Oh, that's right, our Valkyrie's looking for her brother. This is the second Super Nintendo RPG that had slavery in it. Can I just buy weapons, please? Okay, I just want to buy weapons, though. I mean, if I can't find, but whatever. Alright, there's another fortune teller. We can't screw with this one, though. Alright, so there was actually nothing here for us. That was a waste of like 3 minutes. Okay, so now we gotta go to Port Town. What was it? Paula? Something like that. Here's the weapon shop. Alright, I need to buy some stuff. I'll take 10 more defense for each character. Yes, please. There's the fairy cloak. Poppy's gown, because we had to reference an actual mana game that you got back in the day that you might remember. Alright, we have new weapons, which we need. Let's once again throw these on our characters going into the awkward menu system of this game, or at least this port of this game. Also, tedious, the weapon. Okay, new armor for us. Yes, please. Alright, I think that's a shield slot, which we'll never actually get to take advantage of. Oopsie. Swap around the ball and chain. The light dual flail. For 3 more attack. There's a weird color mess up right there. That was weird. And we will... Doop-a-doop-a-doop. We gotta go here and use... Which is the better armor? Here it is. Alright. I think we got everything else we need, so we really just need to get out of here. Wherever the port is. Where's the port? Go ship. Probably wasn't a ghost ship. I think he just really wants to see a ghost ship. I think there's a harbor here. There should be. If there's not, I guess we gotta go back to the other town again. Here it is. Alright. I appreciate you watching. Alright, let's hop into Palo Port. They charge per person. That's it's weird that they do that, and I'm okay with them doing that, but the fact that they're charging you individually and then just give you the group price anyway seems weird. Just tell me what the group price is. I don't need to hear about how I would pay less money if I just dunked both my teammates into the ocean and left them for dead. Alright. Now we should be going to the windy place, which I do believe is the first Mana Stone, which is our slated goal for getting class changes. Though we are still 9 levels short. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Alright, since we just upgraded our equipment, I don't think we really need to buy anything here. Not gonna bother. I get to see some new creatures. I really like these bird sprites. They're nice. The needlebeaks. They are cute. I remember the music to this level being one of my favorite tracks on the game soundtrack as well. I think where we need to go is around here. Okay, there's that. We need to go to that beach later for beach-related activities such as volleyball. Possibly some surfing. But I think there's a passage around here we have to take. Might just not be seeing it. Running into more zombies, because this world can never have enough zombies in video games. Well, granted, this was back in the 90s. They were slightly fresher then. Here's where we need to be. Also, once we're done fighting these guys... Oh, our cleric leveled. Spirit? No spirits. Okay, can't upgrade stamina. I guess strength. Like, we really shouldn't need to upgrade her strength at any point, but... Also, just for a minute, that background is really nice. It's a nice background. Now, I remember, at least the last time I played this game, I ended up getting stuck here. Not because it was particularly difficult or anything, but because I just kind of got lost. Because there's like this weird loop of areas you can kind of go through. If you didn't know where you were going. I don't think we're there yet, though. I think I remember having to walk through like 3 caves before getting trapped. Oh, fighter's done. Okay, strength is no good. Upgrade stamina. More health, more defense. Makes me a better meat shield. Alright. Well, see, once again, we're running into an issue with why slowing down combat sucks. Because even when we're not fighting things, as long as there's enemies, we're going to be moving half speed. Alright, up here, I think is where we need to go to get to the Valkyrie village. Which I think is sort of like our slated destination before we get to the Mana Stone. I think that's this way. Oh yeah, I recognize this. I think this is the cave I got lost in. And I don't even think it was lost so much as I didn't quite know where my end goal was supposed to be. At least that cave looked familiar enough that I can say that was a familiar place, so I'm inclined to say that was probably where that was. Alright, I think this way is where we need to go. Yeah, the Kingdom of the Wind. This is where our Valkyrie comes from. They're locked. Because there's a plot contrivance we need to get into here. But that will be for later. Just gonna keep hitting this zombie. This one's glitching out a little bit. Dead end here. Gonna fight some harpies though. There's some experience for our Amazon. Strength is out, stamina's out. Spirit's our next thing to boost, I guess. I think what I might do, if I do end up inadvertently basically like grinding, is I might keep an eye on requirements for intelligence, because I don't think anything requires more than +1 intelligence to unlock all abilities. I don't think these classes individually have them, but if they do, I'll save that for the last level. I think will be kind of the plan. Alright, now I think we have to go trigger a thing to get into the Wind Town before we actually go see the stone. And the boss, which I want to say is a bigger harpy. Spoilers. Okay, this requires Sylph. I think seeing that was a flag for something else. So we're at least making some progress. Got some more needle beaks. I'm just gonna keep getting some experience as we move on from this wondrous adventure. I still like this song. It's one of my favorites on the soundtrack, I think. This and the Rabite Forest is a really good soundtrack, I think, as well. Okay, so we can't go that way. I believe there was another path this way we can take, though. And if there isn't, then I think we realized why I got stuck here, because I think I just didn't run back to the town or some nonsense. Okay, so go this way. Smack Needlebeak about a bit. And this is the way we need to go now, I think. More Needlebeaks. I don't think this is a dead end, though. Might be. Okay, it is a dead end. Interesting. Whoopsie. Whoopsie. There we go. Thank you, stupid design choice of swapping things with shoulder buttons instead of just making them work in-game like they should. I will say, that was another thing I always really liked about Secret of Mana, is it had really creative status ailments. Like turning you into a Moogle, ballooning you, turning you into a snowman. Secret of Mana is great. Alright, now I get to this wonderful little place. Just delightful. Nothing could ever happen here. Ever. It's just nice and calm and great background, and we don't have anything to worry about. Ever. Oh, except, you know, the flowers will kill us. I think those are actually supposed to be like Datura or something, which are actual flowers. Yes, spoilers, our Valkyrie is actually a captain in their army, and she's kind of awesome. And I believe these people give us Sylph, which allows us to get past that statue to go see the Mana Stone, which is, again, our kind of immediate slated goal. I like that all of our team was asleep for that. We know nothing about our teammates. Oh, that's right. Wait, our teammate is a captain? When was this happening? We were asleep when we were talking about this. So there was an assault on these people. We want revenge. Something, 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 something. Have Sylph. Oh, that's right. Gotta get the Midge Mallet. And then I think we have to go use that. I'm going to talk to that guy again just to make sure he doesn't repeat or give us any other information. Find the Midge Mallet, rumors in there. Okay. Now I think we get that, and then we have to go back to where we first met the fairy. I think is kinda what we have to do. That's me vaguely trying to remember what we have to do. But we need help first to go and do this, and then once we help these people, we get Sylph. And these people, they got knocked out as well. In fact, we'd probably be in there if it weren't for the fact that, you know, we have their team leader in our group. And I believe they make a point, someone says, of, you know, the flowers only work once on you. After that, you're kind of immune to it. So, you know, we're free to pass again. Which is good, because I think we have to pass to get there. The secret base, reminiscent of the Final Fantasy VI secret base. It's hidden behind the sprite view. This way. I will go this way because you said so. That actually makes life a little bit easier. Hopefully she's a good shot. We need as many good shots as we possibly can. Thud. We ended up in the ocean. Splat. We almost murdered a child. Okay, I think to buy the Midge Mallet we have to go to the black market, but I'm not 100% on that. People obsessed with the paranormal. That indicates something goes on at night. Perhaps we should sleep. Let's find out. It's only 75 GP. Just change the clock. Ugh. Alright, press to continue. We'll save because I think it's been a little while since we did that. Keep going. Are you a ghost? Yeah, exactly. He's not a ghost. That person's just silly. Now... for a second I thought that was a wolf enemy. I was like, can I fight that? Okay, I think we can buy the Midge Mallet here. Yeah, we got it for free. Okay, now I gotta go use that, which, again, I want to say is at, like, the forest where we started. I think... Actually, I can save us all some time. Like I said, I've got a thing to a guide up, so I'm just going to pop that open. Okay, let's see. Let's see, give us the hammer. Okay, yeah. It's where we ran into the ferry before. I can work with that. So first we gotta go to a port, which there should be one here. Our teammate was weirdly stuck on the stairs there because pathfinding is hard in these games. You know, as much as I know people love to shit on Secret of Mana's awkward pathfinding, I've played a Super Nintendo RPG that has worse. It was called Ruin Arm, I believe. And it made the awkward pathfinding of Secret of Mana look masterful. By comparison, it was truly a thing of peculiarness. Alright. So we have to go talk to the Lilliputians, I believe is what they were. They're the little tiny mini gnome guys. And they will ultimately give us something that will allow us to progress the plot. And then we can go to the first Mana Stone! Which is, of course, like the first step to actually accomplishing anything in this game. I like that, you know, in this game, the first step to actually accomplishing anything doesn't happen until like 5 hours in. I'm pretty sure in Secret of Mana by this point we already had like maybe 3 or 4 elements. Probably at least have a couple spirits. And also the enemies leveled up while we were gone because they missed us so much and wanted to be useful. That was thoughtful of them. Alright. Well, you ate my special. Good for you. Come on, special. See, the weird thing about this, though, is, like, the enemies level, but it doesn't look like they actually, like, give you extra experience. Or maybe only some of them level. It's weird. Now, I think in order to find the town of the Lilliputians... The Lilliputians are something else entirely. That was... Ooh, I'll take that. Uh-oh. 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 And we took some damage, great. I think that was by, like, those weird statues that we kind of saw. Which I believe were this way. Hey, there's a Silktail. Little 9 Silktail. Good old Silktails. Alright, there's a Rabite. Bonk. And there's something hiding there. I remember that. There's something down there. I forgot about that one, though. And it should be around here, I think. Might just save. Just because, again, I don't want to lose progress if I don't have to. And I think it was down right around here. There it is. Okay, now, that's not what I needed. I need to open up my inventory. Not that stupid freaking interface. Alright, there we go. We need the Midge Mallet. Or the Chibiko Hammer, as it was known in Japanese, I believe. I'm not sure the rest of our teammates have to be shrunk. I'm not sure, we might have to talk to that guy. Or not. Okay. Well, maybe our entire team has to be shrunk. Alright, so bonk them all with the Midge Mallet. I do appreciate how everyone has like a similar shrunken little mini version of them. That's cute. Alright, it's somewhere around here. Pretty sure. Ah! There's a button we had to press. Tricky, but not tricky enough. Yeah, we're just new. I'm trying to. You're not getting out of my way. Just get out of the way. Alright, so we gotta find... There's a door there. It was really hard to see, but there was. Yes, I'm tiny. We're in a village of tiny people. Okay, you are a different person entirely. You the person I need to talk to? I'm betting the person we were talking to that said, you know, go find him yourself, that's probably the guy we're looking for. And he's only going to tell us this after we talk to everyone else. Because this is just that kind of game. I'm seeing a lot of similarity in no one seems to know this guy. I'm trying to get out of the way. Yeah, spoilers, it's the guy who just tells us to go find him ourselves. Because he's kind of an asshole. Okay, I'm just gonna beat you within an inch of your life now. I've got a sword. Smack. Find Sylph. Because spoilers, you need to use Sylph on the statue that I told you you could use Sylph on. Because spoilers, that's how you do that. And that's our prize. Yeah, so the guy's just basically an asshole. Alright, well, we got what we needed. Now we gotta go back to where we came from, because of course we did. Okay, so... I'm pretty sure that's just a sign that we're good at this point. Let's see. Yeah, so I think our next step is to go back to the Wind Corridor. I do believe is our next step. I'm just checking the guides to make sure, because I don't want to end up having to go to the other side of the world with very little actual inkling of what we need to do. But I do believe that is the case. I don't think hitting yourself with the Midge Mallet again actually fixes things, which is a problem. I remember Secret of Mana had something like that, where if you hit yourself with it, you'd shrink, and if you hit yourself again, you'd fix it, because it was originally designed to, like, remove stat buffs. It just had, like, the opposite effect if you happen to not have it. So, back to the Wind Corridor, basically making this entire trip kind of pointless. Well, at least we got to fight some Silk-Tails, get some experience. Small bonuses, I guess. Alright, we won. Hooray! Alright. Gotta go back up to this place. Down to Jad, which I think will take us to Paolo, which will take us to the other place. which should in turn take us back to Wind Corridor, where something is set up where we should be able to interact with the statues now, if I understand this right. And then we'll be able to access the Wind Stone, which is the stone that gives windy things to things. Running, 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 running. Now we can't run because enemies exist again. Alright, keep running, running. Up here. And now we just gotta get back to the port. This part does feel like just a needless walkabout for the sake of just padding, really, though. Okay, we need to go to Apollo. Yes, I'll pay the stupid fee, and then I gotta go somewhere else after that. But on the bright side for this stupid walkabout, we're getting experience, which is at least something. It's not nothing. Alright, so we're going down here. Sail down south to the other part of the world. I can't wait till I, don't have to take a boat everywhere, because this takes forever. Oh, I miss being able to fly. I mean, aside from just how awesome Flammy is, just so convenient. Alright, I mean, cannon travel in that game was better too, because, you could do it from the start. And you didn't have to watch a giant, stupidly long cutscene. Plus, you got more Mode 7 that way. And Mode 7 makes everything better. That is just an undeniable fact of how life works. Okay, so gotta go back up to the Wind Passage. And then we should be able to go through that area and find Sylph. So let's bonk some more birds. We don't need to go up there. It looks like we can, but we can't for reasons. Gotta go this way. Nice little sunset on the mountains. Now the thing is, unless we gain major levels, we are not going to be able to use the Mana Stone immediately, which is frustrating. But such is life. Like I said, I might end up power leveling, although the level difference between it might be awful, is probably the best way to use any sort of descriptor for that situation, seeing as level 8s to get to level 20, not good. I like the big, poof of feathers that they blow up into when you kill them. Those birds are fun. They're some of my favorite enemies in this game. Alright, now I need to go this way. Because down there was the direction to the city we went to. Okay, up here. There should be a cave entrance close by. I think it's one more screen away. I believe it should be right about here. I'll take out her. And then we'll just go in here because I don't want to waste time. Alright, so up here, back to the statue of things. We should be able to interact with it now, I think. Alright, go team. Alright, yeah. So now that random thing, it's just gone. Never really explained. So that actually changes the way these things create wind, which actually affects how you walk. And we don't want to get blown around too much, because we need to actually get around. So now we gotta kill stuff. Back to what our slated goal is, which is killing lots of stuff. Alright. Silly imp, you cannot bubble us. Looks like there's 2 entrances. Can't go that way, so we gotta go the other way. I remember this game having a system where if you killed everything in a room, it wouldn't respawn until you moved 2 rooms over. Yeah, I can't really fight against the current. You can to a point, but once you get like within that range, you can't really do much, and there's no way we really could have gotten up there anyway. Probably didn't actually want to go this way. Now I'm seeing that the wind is going to blow this way. Well, what can you do? More experience. Hopefully we'll level soon. That would be nice. I like that this really like cold robotic knight has like big googly eyes when you hit him. That's funny. This game does have some really excellent sprite work. Alright, that connected. Good. Good, good. We can go down here, but we can't access that just yet. Go over here, but there's nothing we can do there. So we can only go down this way. There's no buttons to hit yet. Here's one. Alright. There we go. Making progress. Alright. That way's going to get hit by wind. This way's hit by wind as well, so we don't have a choice. This kind of vaguely reminds me of a dungeon from Golden Sun 2 for some reason. And I really could not tell you why. But it really does remind me of a dungeon from Golden Sun 2. Alright, our cleric levels. Okay, so spirits. Yes, we can upgrade that again. Yes, please. That means everyone else on our team is going to get close to leveling soon, too. I think this way is an optional path. Yeah, so we're actually pretty close to the boss of the area, if I recall. Save there. And this thing actually fully restores our health and experience, health and magic. Right now we only have one magic user in our party. There's the Madness Stone. The thing that's going to give us the mighty class change. So if I recall, this song is a remix of Angel Sphere, one of the best songs from Secret of Mana. Wait, I need to touch this for class change powers. But first, class change. We need to focus. But we're not focusing hard enough. Yeah, it's gonna be another 8 levels for you, buddy. I don't aspire to power level, but we might. Okay, that's the Dark Knight, which is a reused sprite from Secret of Mana. That's one of the big bad bosses of this game, who is not nearly as bad as everyone makes him out to be, honest. Because the bosses in Secret of Mana are a little odd. Alright, now we gotta fight a boss. Fight the Harpy, who is legally distinct from the other Harpies we've already fought at this point. Come on, special. Oh, good. Asleep. That's what we want. Not ideal, but I kind of want her to heal before we start dipping into candy. Oh, yeah, and then that happens. Okay. I want you to heal you. That'll at least keep us all above 100, which is kind of what we want right now. It will be so nice once we actually get like special abilities that can do damage. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, being able to heal is nice, but, you know, when you can actually do special attacks that do damage, it will be so much nicer. And she's actually floating above the screen right now, which means even if we followed her, we can't do much. As it shows, the AI seems to just follow the actual sprites and not where they're supposed to be. Or rather, it doesn't follow the logic of what the game's doing, which is a little peculiar. Oh, that did a lot of damage. Okay. And it looks like Sprite's out of the mix, so we'll heal Mia up. Alright, and then we will heal Sprite up next. I remember this fight being a particularly hard one too if you came in not properly leveled, just because of the extra shenanigans with its magic. But I mean, I guess that's every boss in every RPG ever. If you're not the right level, stuff's gonna suck. Special, whip with my special, try again, take 4 up, or just get dropped from space. Yeah, that's fine. For some reason I know Sprite, because my guy is presently asleep. Just gonna ricochet off some walls there. I would like to heal. Who is it? No, there we go. That's what I want to heal. And I would like to swap my character back to someone I would like to play as, if that's at all possible. There we go. Hopefully this time I'll actually be able to land with my special. I mean, we've tried throwing it about 6 times now. There we go. Show me some big numbers, game. Oh, good. It's boosted its defense, so we can't do jack to it. Come on, special. Oop. How much damage is that going to do? Because the game seems to calculate damage by magic, similar to Secret of Mana. Like, spells have like a net worth of how much they do, but if you focus it on one enemy or spread it across, it'll basically just weaken everything. There's internal logic to it, but we killed it. So we should have Sylph now. Nice little explosion. I like that explosion. Alright. And our strength is still not available. Dexterity, no. I guess Spirit will be next. Just boost some magic defense. So we presently need 7 levels for 2 of our characters, 8 for the next, if we want a class change. He was after the Mana Stone. Well, that's a problem, because we're after those too. But we got Sylph. Or Jin, depending on which version you subscribe to translation to. Okay, we can't do anything with that right now. I'm going to save, though. And I might sit here and grind on my own time just to get those levels. It's going to be a bit of a grind just for the experience we get here, but honestly, it's probably the best place for experience right now. And at least we'll be close to a place where we can heal up, as well as get to the Mana Stone early. So I think that might be the plan if we're going to continue doing this. Again, I'm not sure how much of this we'll play, but, you know, maybe we'll play more of this as we go. This was fun, though. I do quite like Seiken Densetsu 3. Anyway, I think that will be it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, follow the stream to know when we go live, because we stream every night, usually Animal Crossing, but we do stuff like this when I've got the time. You might also want to check out and subscribe to my YouTube channel to see thousands of videos waiting just for you of pretty much every type of game you could ever imagine, including awesome imports like this, originally anyway, as well as its sequel and its prequel and a bunch of other awesome stuff. And if you really want to make my day, check out the show's PayPal or Patreon, support the show any way you can so that I can continue to do what I do to the best of my ability, which in this case is exploring games connected to games that are very, very near and dear to me, as well as just being awesome imports. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Peace out, Internet.